In this video, we're going to show you how to install the bumper bracket on your Ford Focus located behind your front bumper. With the hood open, we're going to go ahead and access the 4 plastic push pins holding the top portion of our grille in place. Use your trim tool. We're going to pop out the center section and then pull out the bottom. We're going to repeat this process right across the front, removing all 4 of these retainers. Now on the upper section here, the grille itself presses in or pops into a little retainer on the radiator support, so you can lift up and then pull forward. Now what we want to do is take the grille assembly and we're going to pull it up and out, separating it from our bumper. And go ahead and set that aside. We need to remove our headlight assemblies as well. It's going to be 2 10mm bolts. There's one here, one in the back section here. We're going to loosen and remove these. Down at the lower portion here, there's the 3rd bolt, 10mm. Loosen and remove that. On the upper portion here, this tab here has a little locking button that goes into the radiator support. I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver, gently lift up and pull the headlamp assembly forward. Once that's undone, grab the headlamp assembly, I want to lift it up, pulling it forward, and pop that up and out. On the bottom side of the headlamp assembly here, just so that you know, there's a metal clip on the bottom that gets dislodged. That's why we lift up, that's what we're disconnecting. Now I'm going to go ahead and pop off the harness itself. So if you want to, you can just twist the bulb assemblies out, twist counterclockwise, pull that assembly. Same thing with the other ones, counterclockwise, pull the bulb assemblies off. This one here, we're just going to disconnect the connector. You're going to push in on this little tab and unplug it. Remove that headlamp assembly. We're going to repeat for the driver's side. Now with the headlights removed, there's going to be 4 plastic push pins we need to remove. There's going to be one right here. We're going to use our trim tool, pop out the center. It's going to be just like the other large ones that we popped out. Popped out the center, get underneath the base, lift it out. We're going to move inboard. Slightly different but similar. It's going to be center section. You're going to pry that up and out, pull out the base. Continue right across. There's going to be one right here. And then we have the 4th one right underneath where the other headlight was. Using our 19mm socket, we're going to loosen and remove the lug nuts. Remove it and set it aside. Now with the wheel removed, it's going to give us better access to the screw on the splash shield. Now we want to go ahead and remove the lower splash shield here. We're going to start by removing the 7mm screw right inside the wheel well area. There's one here on the passenger side and one on the driver's side. I'm going to go ahead and use my 7mm ratchet or socket with my ratchet. In some cases you can use power tools to do something like this here. But because they are small and if they're rusty, you risk breaking them, so it's best to do them by hand. All right, remove this one here and repeat for the driver's side. Now on the lower front portion of the bumper, there's going to be a series of these 7mm screws running right across the front. I want to go ahead and loosen and remove all of these. All right, let's go ahead and remove the rest across the front. Now that we have all of our hardware out, we're going to go ahead and come to the center here. There are 3 plastic push pin retainers. I'm going to use my trim tool. Go up here and you want to pop out the center of this button. And then pull out the base. I'm going to do that for all 3 of these. Sometimes these are brittle. They might break on you. So just be prepared for that you might have to replace these. With all of our hardware out, let's go ahead and pull the splash shield out. And set that aside. Now on the inside lip of the bumper cover itself, you're gonna find a screw right here. This on ours is a 7/32 screw. Go ahead and loosen that. We're gonna use our stubby ratchet here. You can use whatever tool you have to loosen and remove this. And then right below it, you're gonna find two plastic push pins here. You're gonna use our trim tool. You wanna go ahead and remove the center section of this, pry it out, and that's gonna allow you to release the bottom like so. Do that on the bottom one here. And once you get this out, we're gonna go ahead and repeat this process for the passenger side. Now from up underneath, you're gonna go ahead and locate the back of the fog light assemblies if your vehicle has this option. On the back side here, you have two options to disconnect this. One, pinch on the side tab here and pull the harness off. Pinch and pull. The other option is, if you can't get this off for any reason, simply grab the bulb, turn it counterclockwise, and remove the bulb assembly with the harness still attached. Either way will be just fine. Once it's disconnected, I'm gonna come on over to this harness right here and use our trim tool. I'm gonna come on in behind here and pop that off. We're gonna repeat this process for the passenger side. Now on the driver's side here, we're gonna go ahead and reach between the fender liner and the bumper. Grab the inside of the bumper, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna tug it outward. And what we're doing is dislodging the little tabs on the bumper itself from the bumper bracket. We're gonna go ahead and repeat this process for the passenger side. Now with the two bumper ends dislodged, we should be able to grab our bumper itself, gently pull forward, and then set it down. Now right here and here are two screws holding the unit in place. We're gonna use our 7/32 socket to loosen and remove these screws. Just using a stubby 1/4" ratchet. You can use a wrench or a full-size 1/4" ratchet if you want. All right, now right here is a little tab. You can kind of push that through, and that's it right here. Just a little mounting clip that kind of locks it into the fender. I'm gonna take our unit here, gonna line up this post and this locking tab into the holes. Grab your screws, line those up. I like to go ahead and get these started by hand if you can. And then we'll go ahead and snug them down. Once that screw bottom's out, just snug it gently. It doesn't have to be super tight. Do the same over here. Okay, snug it gently. Now if you need to, go ahead and repeat this process for the passenger side. We're gonna take our bumper, we're gonna hang it on the front here, and as it comes around onto the sides, we're going to go ahead and take the bumper lip here and line up on the inside of these tabs. You can see it starting to line up. Just lift up the bumper a little bit. Bring it up nice and tight. And as you do, now we're going to go ahead and just bump the bumper and lock it into that mounting bracket. Just make sure you get that up there nice and tight. Just like so. Now we're going to repeat this process for the other side. Now that we have our two sides locked in, our bumper pretty much lines itself up. Now let's continue. Now we're going to go ahead and connect our harness for our fog light. We're going to line up this connector, push that on, and then we can install the harness. We're going to repeat this process for the passenger side. Next, we're going to go ahead and install our headlamps. We're going to install our bulbs and our harness on the bottom here. Pay attention to the little locking tab right here. This needs to go into the bumper bracket slot. So when we install it, it needs to drop in and lock in there. And then we can install the 3 bolts, holding the lamp in place. All right, once you get that bulb in there, twist it clockwise. Install your harness. Push it on, you can feel it lock into place. And these are keyed meaning that there's going to be certain tabs that are different sizes. They need to line up with the notches on the headlamp assembly. Insert, twist clockwise until it stops. Line this up. Push this back and in. There it is, popped right in. Let's install our 3 bolts. I'll start with our lower inboard bolt here. Gonna gently snug this. That's it. And then repeat for the other 2. We're going to repeat this process for the driver's side. Let's line up the base of our grille with the tabs on the bumper. Bring it up and over the latch. Line this up, push that in. Line up the top section. And let's go ahead and install our 4 plastic push pins across the top. Go ahead and get our splash shield up into place. We're going to start getting our screws installed here. Just going to run the screws around the bottom, get all these started, and then we're going to come back and snug them all down. Right, we have all our screws, and let's go ahead and snug these down. Just snug them down gently, and repeat this right across the whole front and to the other side. Now that we have all of our screws installed, we want to go ahead and install our 3 plastic push pins. Press that in, lock it in, and we're going to repeat this process for the other 2. I'm going to install our plastic push pins here. And then we have our last screw up top. Now once we're secured here, we're going to repeat this process for the passenger side. We're going to install your wheels and you're all set. Grab the wheel. Good, line up the wheel studs. Let's go ahead and install the lug nuts. Ideally you want to get all these started by hand first. Then we'll go ahead and snug them down. When tightening these down, you want to go ahead and do it in a crisscross pattern. Now let's go ahead and torque down our lug nuts to 94 foot-pounds. Prefer to do this in a crisscross pattern. And you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.